It's Ted Gideonse, but I don't think anyone knows how to spell that. So I don't know why I put my name in the hat. It's hot. I'm gassy, and now I'm really nervous, and that's not going to help either of them. I'm going to talk about when poverty actually struck me. We'll go back to 2001 before I hit, San Diego. 2001, I managed to dump my rich boyfriend, get fired from my crappy job, and then 9/11 happened, and I was living in New York 3 blocks away, or 3 subway stops away. That's a big difference. It still stank. Within 3 months, I was living in a illegal apartment that had once been a zipper factory. I was going through a series of hooker not boyfriends, hooker roommates. Neither of them would they ever be my boyfriend. One who was really, really bad at it and would wake me up in the middle of the night and his horrible, creepy British accent say, "Do you have any lube?" And I'm like, if you're a hooker, get your own lube. Don't wake up your roommate. The other one was he had no shame about it. He used his real name as his hooker name and as his porn name. So when he applied to be my roommate, when I Googled him, as you would do for anyone, I found, yes, he is a painter. He's also a hooker and a porn star who specializes in fisting. But he paid his rent. But I was running out of money. I was running out of unemployment. Unfortunately, being raised by Protestant work ethic, middle class parents, I believed in paying my debts, and I was very, very entitled. So I thought I should pay all my debts, my $25,000 in credit card debt that I had accrued, which was really stupid because anyone would tell you now, if you have $25,000 in credit card debt, declare bankruptcy. Always declare bankruptcy. But I didn't. So I hired this company called Homeland Financial, which sounded like a great idea. I was all patriotic, and they clearly were playing on that. They had a little American flag, and they were going to negotiate my debt away. And that meant that they would call up the, say Chase Bank and say, okay, how about he pays 60 cents on the dollar? And they would say, no, how about 80 cents? And then they would say, how about 65? And go on and going on. And then, miraculously, I'd only pay, say, 15,000 of my 25,000. Well, one thing they didn't bother to tell me was that if you start doing this negotiation thing, you eventually end up in the situation where the credit card company gets angry and they sue you. So I was only sued 4 times after paying Homeland Financial $2,000. Yeah, bad idea. So what I did learn was that I was not as dumb as most of the people they sued, so I was able to at least fight a little, and I paid off all my debts. The only company that actually agreed to negotiate away was this wonderful bank in Boston called Fleet Bank. I won't even do the Fleet joke involving the hooker roommates, but I just did, so there. But Fleet Bank was great. They let me only pay 40 cents on the dollar, and they were awesome. They were so friendly and kind and everything, and I got my little letter, and they said, you have done this, and I can, and I was like, yay, that's 3 points on my credit score. So I was very proud of myself that I did the right thing. Well, the day that letter was signed was September 30th, 2002, which happened to be the day before Bank of America took ownership of Fleet Bank. Now, somehow, between that little changing of the name, they lost all my files. So Bank of America went in this whole process of just harassing me for the $1,200 they claimed I owed. Usually, if I sent them a little letter, they would, leave me alone, but they would keep doing it, and I would, get all righteous and send faxes and CC fictional lawyers, which is always great. I would just add Esquire to people's names and CC it. And usually that worked because if they think that you know a lawyer, they don't bother you. So this went on and on and on, and finally they just stopped. And then I moved to San Diego to be deliberately poor as a grad student, which is not poverty striking you, it's agreeing to poverty, which is a big difference. You can have a little pride in it. So one day I come back from class, and there's a letter from this outfit in San Diego called Patnode and Felix, and they claim that I owe them $1,200. Well, I didn't. So I raised holy hell. They left me alone. 5 months later, they sued me. Now, it's kind of a stupid thing to sue someone that you have no, right to do that. So I went through the whole process of tracking people down in Bank of America and everything, and they eventually, I got some wacky lady who picked up the phone somewhere in Pennsylvania saying, "This is wrong," and it all went away, and they were very shocked. Well, I blogged about it. A lawyer called me up and said, "You know what? That's horrible. You should sue them." So I was like, "Well, what could I get?" And he was like, "Well, I don't know. What do you want?" I said, "I want righteous indignation, and I want them to feel pain." and he was like, "You're the best client ever." Because I didn't care. I really didn't care what kind of money I got. I just wanted them to be embarrassed, which by suing them for $50,000 succeeded in doing. Now, I certainly didn't get $50,000. I wasn't allowed to have $50,000, and the amount that I did win is secret. I don't know why they wanted me to keep that amount secret. But what they didn't prevent me from doing was write a long, detailed blog entry about all the crap they did to me. And every single day that I look at my Google Analytics, because we all do that if you have a blog, every single day, the vast majority of the 100 people that come every single day are searching for Patnode and Felix. And they come there and they see that they are evil and they are wrong and they got busted. And I win.